is Jay Leno, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about Fantastic Four: First Steps with my guys Jonan Level, Fox, and SSJ. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. I'm gonna keep it a solid buck again. This movie exceeded my expectations, which weren't high because all of the critics, like pre this film, or even the early screen watchers and viewers, gave this such a horrible critique. Well, I mean, fellas, what was you guys' take on this film? I guess we can start with you, Jonan. What you think of the Fantastic Four film?
So I just saw the film today. I thought the new Fantastic Four was pretty decent and stuff. I give it personally it's looking around a 7 or 8 out of 10. I haven't really fleshed out my thoughts entirely, so that's a work in progress. But I would definitely say this is probably the best MCU movie we've had since, honestly, Deadpool 3. Personally, I kind of prefer, and this is just me personally, but I kind of prefer the old Fox movies more so. The only things I would say that they kind of done better here was, of course, Galactus and visual and stuff due to, being released with more modern technology compared to, 18, 20 years ago. So that's where I stand on that. But definitely a solid movie, though.
Gotcha. Hold on. Right on. Bundle. You said you're on mute. I didn't know if you were waiting with us. I didn't know if you were here, but right on. Thanks for showing us love. Bundeduski got a truth.
What's up, Bundle?
Yeah. How about yourself, SSJ? Man, how'd you like the film?
So yeah, I've seen it 3 times now. I thought the movie was actually pretty good. It's probably, like you said, Jay Leno, the best Marvel movie we've gotten in a long time. My expectations were quite low, considering the previous Marvel films that came out. Like Thunderbolts was very mid. It had moments, but it was mid. Captain America: Brave New World Order was absolute garbage. So going into this movie, I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And I disagree with Jonan. Those old Fantastic Four movies are just nostalgia. The first one is at least somewhat watchable, but the second one, not so much, especially with the Cloud Galactus. And this Fantastic Four movie definitely gave a lot of justice to the characters, including Galactus and the core Fantastic Four themselves. Pedro Pascal I was saying a lot of negative things about him before the movie came out. I still don't think he really fits Mr. Fantastic, but for the actual movie itself, he worked. So that's my take on it. Also, the Thing was probably my favorite character in the movie. He could have had a little bit more screen time, but he was really good. Definitely better than the Thing that looked like he was wearing a fat suit, like Big Mama from Big Mama's House from the Fox films.
Yeah, I got you. I'll piggyback off of pretty much what you guys have said. This is the best iteration of the Fantastic Four that we've seen so far as cinema goes. I definitely felt the continuity of the comic book, like having the opportunity. To me, it was like a more in depth of showing the relationship between the 4 of the Fantastic Four members. So, like, you really got an opportunity to see like a decent argument. Battles and conflict of being in a marriage between Reed Richards and Sue Storm. It wasn't corny and like a sub-level conflict that they dealt with. I mean, they dealt in this film. It was a real deal confrontation, a mental battle, and the decision they had to make. And I felt like Reed Richards stuck to his character of being analytical, probable, and Sue Storm convinced, and Sue Storm kind of keeping him grounded with faith, and and then Johnny Storm was energetic, funny. That's I'm kind of accustomed to him being the wildfire, no pun intended. and then Ben Grimm kind of being the muscle. But I thought he was a muscle, and then at the same time, just like the Fox films, you could tell that he misses being in a relationship. So it just they kept that continuity of him being human. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, Jonan, did you have like any overview or opinion towards the individuals or how the Fantastic Four was depicted in this film?
Yeah, I guess I have some, at least for the Fantastic Four. Like SSJ said, I think, yeah, I agree. The Thing was definitely probably the best character and stuff. I think, yeah, he was written pretty solidly, and I kind of liked how they touched up on his Jewish roots and stuff, and his him coming from like Yancey Street because the Thing's from the hood and all that stuff too. So that was pretty nice to see. And then Human Torch, I feel like he could have been a little bit better. I kind of wish like he was a little bit more, I don't know, like a little bit more in shape. That's just me because, he is following up after like Chris Evans, who kind of went to go play Captain America. So it's kind of like, yeah. But other than that, though, he was pretty solid. I feel like they could have done some more stuff with him to kind of show off like, oh, he's into cars. He's, he's a ladies' man and all that type of stuff. Invisible Woman, I honestly have no complaints about Vanessa Kirby. And then Pedro Pascal, as far as his Reed Richards, you could probably say I already have somewhat of a bias against it, but his Reed's a little bit just too quiet, in my opinion, and just he's a little submissive, not like as assertive, or he's like that leader type of guy where this guy like will like follow you like Optimus Prime or something like that,
Yeah, I honestly with that I agree. I could understand your take with that. I guess I even when I watched that film, I questioned him when he immediately let the world know or the media know, like verbatim, what Galactus had demanded to save the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you guys have told like everybody like verbatim what Galactus said?
Oh no, I would have lied. I would have been like,
he was way too honest
I'm
with
like,
those people. I don't know why he kept on telling people the whole truth with everything. They definitely should have lied about what Galactus's plan was with the Earth and the exchange of Franklin Richards, because all that did was cause people to go into a panic, and then they wanted the Fantastic Four to give up their child just for the protection of the Earth.
Yellow.
I just thought all of that could have been avoided had he had just lied or something. He didn't have to tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I feel like he should have told a little bit of a half truth, been like, yeah, so we're working on it and he'll be here in a week, but I would have definitely left out the Franklin part and been like, so he wants cosmic power, and just leave it at that. Just don't even go into any more detail. Oh, he wants my son, because people are going to freak out.
Yeah, I wouldn't even said that. I would have just been like, yeah, so when the people were like, so how did you defeat Galactus? He actually escaped or something, or he destroyed the planet that we were on. So he'll probably be back, like you said, in another week or so. So we're prepping to defeat him when the time comes.
Yeah.
I agree. You know what? I liked Herbie. Little young Herbert the robot.
Yeah, it's been a while since they used that character.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed that connection. I honestly, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I felt a little warm inside when Sue Storm was like, I don't know what you worried about. You can just see Franklin, and she made her stomach invisible so she could see the baby in the womb. That was that was the cutest. That was a very cute moment to me.
That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, their interaction. Okay, so what I'll go at with the Fantastic Four, I'm gonna compare it to the Fox at this moment.
I think it's for the best.
You said what?
I think that's for the best, definitely.
Yeah. So with this Fantastic Four, those Fox films at that time, and I would say I'm going to exclude almost all superhero movies back at that time, but like exclusively Fox. It was the films always were very fast paced to me, plot wise. Like it was like all those Fox films kind of had a really quick formula. We're going to show you guys how they got their powers. We're going to give you a brief montage. Then we're going to give you the main villain at the end. And you're going to see a final battle, and that's the end of the movie. And
Yeah.
I think
those movies, they weren't that long. They're like at least at best like sometimes like an hour and 40 minutes here and there. So that's usually why.
So my opinion, I mean, that's how films were made back then. And now with them having more time, and now with how screenwriters write films now, my honest opinion, it appears to me that I feel a more human, stronger conversations between characters in these superhero films, in comparison to those Fox films, and it's a bit more relatable and probable. And some people might find it boring, but I like those subtle details. How about you guys?
I think there was more stuff in the Fox films, in my opinion. Like, I'm going to take Human Torch, for example. So we know Human Torch's relationship with the Thing and all that stuff, where in here, in the new movie, they have a little bit of this banter going on where, they're kind of chill, nonchalant and stuff, where they might, poke fun at each other here and there. But in those movies, though, like, just like in the comics, the Fox movies, Human Torch used to pull a lot of pranks on the Thing, take fights with him and everything. I think that's a lot more like, characterization right there. That's more true to the characters, more so than them just, having some small banter.
Okay. I mean, it's an example. I would say there was in the Fox films that banner was there. But if to me it felt very sub level, not as dramatic in those Fox films.
Sometimes. I mean, depends. Like, for example, like, the Thing. I remember Stan Lee was saying, like, when he came up with the Thing and stuff, he was like, well, yeah, of course, him and Reed are, like, best friends and everything, but he was like, yeah, but you can't blame the Thing for at least having some kind of, like, resentment against Reed for, like, what happened to him becoming this rock golem creature and all that stuff. And they were kind of, like, showing that, too, in the first movie where he still had this, like, resentment and stuff, even though Reed's his best friend, he cares for him and all that. And he even, like, sacrificed his humanity just to, go back to being the Thing in that movie. But, yeah, it was kind of there where he just, had that.
Yeah, but, well, I would say I'm not eliminating that it didn't appear in the Fox films. I'm with my comparison, it just seems more in depth. It just seems more advanced. And then, I mean, my
like they reach past those like milestones and stuff.
Yeah,
definitely in this movie.
Yeah, and I mean, okay. SSJ said he's gonna be in the chat. He's having some struggles with the restream, but yeah, but so, and I'd honestly say, for the Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm and Human Torch have always been like favored by children and teenagers and youngsters. As far as cool factor, as far as people, those two characters is what people gravitated towards the most. Whereas Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic normally handled a lot of the big roles in defeating the opponents. But almost like Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, they're like the brutes. They're two brutes of the family.
Yeah, definitely kids and teenagers. Definitely back then, they definitely love that because you got somebody like the Thing who is the rival to the Hulk of all people, and then you got the Human Torch, where I mean, this guy can literally turn on fire and stuff. He's got pyrokinesis, so I mean that's automatically just cool right there, and he can fly. So yeah, they definitely got some stuff going.
I enjoy this. I would love to see another sequel. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, now we can get into the city. Jonah, would you think of this futuristic 1960s esque city that Marvel and Disney had created for this film?
At first conception, I didn't really like. I was like, I don't know. But then after after a while, I was kind of like, all right, you know what? This isn't half bad. And then seeing the movie and stuff, it didn't bother me. It's kind of like reminds me of Incredibles, because Incredibles had a little bit of that similar vibe too, where it was like this sort of neo 1960s, even though some stuff might go over people's heads, but they had black and white TVs and stuff like that, etc. Or the cars and stuff that were like kind of made the same, just like the Fantastic Car in this version. So yeah, so I definitely did like it though. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Which in which the Incredibles got that from, were heavily inspired by the Fantastic Four, obviously.
Yep, the first family.
Yeah, with this being the first family of Marvel, I thought everything looked cool. I mean, I guess with the film starting off with the Fantastic Four already being experienced, and these subtle details without even mentioning it, you get an opportunity to see the influence of Reed Richards in the city with his inventions, with people trusting his ability. I mean, pretty much trusting him with everything. Like the United Nations and all the rest of the countries are aware of who Reed Richards is in this earth. And yeah, I was able to grasp that concept very, very fast. And yeah, I with the Fantastic Four of their existence on this planet, I was automatically able to connect them into this universe. How about yourself? Or what was your thoughts of like them not spending that much time in the introduction of the characters?
I didn't mind it too much. I wish I didn't mind that the origin part where they were like showing footage or stock footage of like them going to outer space and stuff. That was pretty cool. I wish they kind of showed them in the beginning kind of fighting Mole Man a little bit more. That's me personally, and I'm actually kind of glad they included Mole Man, because I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan or a huge Mole Man fan at that, but I'm like, man, but that character though, even though like he's literally the Fantastic Four's first villain, I feel like he should at least get some kind of homage, or they should at least put him in a movie or something. I mean, of course not as the main villain, because I mean, who wants to sit through a movie and watch the Fantastic Four versus the Mole Man,
Yeah.
Compared to Doctor Doom, Galactus, and all that. So, but still, I was like, okay, I like that. So I wish they would have shown more like them fighting that, and then we move on to like the Galactus stuff. And I kind of also stand by this too, but I wish they would have also included more of Galactus's heralds and stuff like Nova and T-Rex and all that. That would have been so much more cooler and would have given them so much more to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this pace is an accelerated pace, but at the same time, I don't know. It didn't feel rushed watching this film. The details that I got from this that I really enjoyed, it was an easy meal for me to eat through this film. Is I was able to scale everybody's abilities, which is very close to comic book accurate. Being able to, I mean, this is the first time I've been able to physically see Ben Grimm's strength. We saw him pull a submarine. We saw him take out those buildings. In the comics, of course, his strength, but in the other films, I didn't really see that scale that much. As well as Sue Storm.
I wouldn't say too much, but like, because the first movie.
Hello? I think we lost
like that last quarter of the film and all that stuff, when like for the Thing though in that movie, yeah, he went toe to toe with Doctor Doom. He even fell off like that building and into that pool and all that stuff. That was pretty nice. I remember during the test and stuff, Mr. Fantastic was saying like, if Johnny wanted to like become as hot as he wanted to, he can reach like supernova like flames and all that stuff which is like as hot as the surface of the sun. He's like, you can wipe out humanity that way if you're not careful enough. So stuff like that. And then he's like, all right, Johnny, I want you to do that exactly what I told you against Doom. He's like, you sure? I thought we agreed this is a bad thing. And he's like, I got it. And then he told Sue to like put up a force field and all that. So that little combination of their little powers and stuff, they had back then. Then, of course,
your connection's going in and out a little bit. Hopefully, you'll be able to catch back up.
Sort of a stick in everybody's powers and stuff like that. And you got that scene where he's a lot of stuff happens. So there's some stuff to kind of scale off of that.
So, what was your thoughts when Sue Storm was able to force push a Galactus?
So I know a lot of people, or not a lot, but some people that either probably don't know comics and stuff, or is like complaining for the sake of complaining and stuff, or is like, oh, well, feminist. And there is always a feminist agenda, but no, I don't see it here because Sue Storm, like Invisible Woman, is the most powerful.
Really powerful. Yeah. There you go.
She is, in fact, the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. Even before, when I was kind of speaking a little negatively on this movie before I saw it, I was like, I hope they don't try to like overpush Sue like as much as And like I already know she's powerful, of course, because it's Invisible Woman. But how do I put this? She's already powerful, but I just don't want them to like, oh, she's like making everyone else look like effortlessly like, oh, she's so much more better than them or something like that. But no, that Galactus thing, that was really cool and stuff, and how she was pushing them into like that portal and stuff. I was like, okay, Sue, because in the comics, Sue has defeated stuff like Celestials. I think she even fought like a Watcher too, from like What If.
Talk
Watchers,
your stuff, Joni. Talk your stuff, Joni. That's what we here for.
Right, and Watchers, I mean, I heard like they kind of scale to like universe level. So if you really want to go there, yeah, Sue can kind of be on that level too sometimes. I'm like, yikes, how do you get past all that?
Yeah, she definitely has a high feat of strength. I mean, shoot, man, this is our Fantastic Four talk. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into talking about the villains. Like, so what's up? What's your thoughts on even chat, even people watching? What were you guys' thoughts on the female Silver Surfer? I'm gonna start with you, Jonan. What was your thoughts?
Again, wasn't a huge fan. It wasn't as over pushed as I thought it would be again with the whole feminist stuff. But yeah, they should have stayed with Norman Rad and just went with that origin versus it'd be his lover Shalabah, and then they kind of changed the origin where it's Shalabah and she has a daughter and she gave up her free will to be Galactus' herald to save her planet. And I'm like, wow, they just left Norman Rad out just like that. So that was weird. But other than that, though, I mean, she was pretty decent in the movie. I got no complaints, almost.
Yeah, honestly, it's I thought that I mean, I would love to have had the male Silver Surfer. That's my preference. But to me, I think she was like more heartless than the Silver Surfer. Hold on one second, my cousin hopping in. What's up, cuz?
What up?
What's happening, Derek?
Fantastic summer, gentlemen. Fantastic summer of superhero films. Probably the best summer ever.
Okay. No disagreements there. SSJ says she was pointless. They just wanted more estrogen energy. She also was barely in the movie. We're speaking on the female Silver Surfer. I honestly, there wasn't much of a difference between her and the male version of Silver Surfer. Now,
I told you, cause the difference that I saw was that the female version was more terrifying to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
She inflicted fear.
Aggressive, definitely.
Yeah,
she inflicted fear, and she was way more badass.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to make a comparison for people who may not be aware, the male Silver Surfer, most of the variants of that Silver Surfer, when he immediately touched down on Earth, once he saw it was comparable and almost similar to the planet that he's from, he immediately, you know, wasn't very vengeful, didn't want to inflict pain or destroy the planet. He then wanted to save the planet. Whereas the female Silver Surfer in this movie, she was ready to fulfill Galactus's witness. She was all about her planet and her family, and yeah,
another day at the office.
yeah, it was another day at the office. She didn't really care, and yeah. So I mean, those are those are the comparisons between the two, and then of course with the live action Fox film with Silver Surfer, we really didn't get a true glimpse of powers and ability as much as we got in this film. SSJ, I know that the female Silver Surfer wasn't in the film that much to be a villain, but I tell you what, when they were escaping away from Galactus, that whole her gliding and surfboarding through those terrains and those debris and all that, like Jonah and Cuz, what'd y'all think of seeing Silver Surfer move like that?
It was pretty cool and stuff. It was nice seeing her maneuver around those little laser beams. But to bring up like the Fox movies and stuff, I mean, I will say like one scene that probably speaks to me is like definitely like I think Silver Surfer's introduction in that movie, where like the first thing we see is, and I think this is in the trailer too, but when what's his face shows up, Human Torch chase after him and all that stuff, and then like they're like, you know, racing and stuff across like the city and everything, passing through like traffic, and then like Silver Surfer chokes him out of space, similar to this scene, but it's not as like, you know, drawn out compared to like the Fox movies. But yeah.
SSJ says she kind of reminds me of the TX endoskeleton from Terminator. Terminator 3. I could see that comparison.
Speaking of which, that reminds me too, that Silver Surfer, this version, she looks a lot more like the engineer from that Superman movie than, well, at least she was supposed to look like the engineer from the comics, more so than the one that we got from that Superman movie. Just to throw that out there.
So I saw the film in IMAX 3D, and so I saw it like the highest quality that you can. And the part where she's chasing down the Fantastic Four in space, that the graphics, the CGI looks so real to me. I was in total awe. The technology, the time and effort that they put into this was not in nearly as close as Captain America: Brave New World. Captain America: Brave New World CGI was very shitty, and there's no surprise there because you're doing black superhero.
Let's try and hold off on the profanity, if you don't mind.
Oh, sorry. What did I say?
I thought you said SHITTY, Sugar Honey Iced Tea.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they really did the CGI well on this one, and that scene was just amazing. I thought that she was in the film for a good amount of time. It's not the Silver Surfer movie. So the Fantastic Four is the Fantastic Four movie. So I would have liked to see Galactus a little bit more, but that's a very small complaint. But yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just for a person who may not have knowledge of Silver Surfer's first role or Silver Surfer's just introduction as a character, period. It's a herald of Galactus, which basically Galactus uses cosmic energy and gives other people abilities. He's almost like a god that uses and controls and can manipulate cosmic energy. And basically Silver Surfer fulfills the duties of feeding Galactus cosmic energy because he's like a pig, a sloth, if you will.
Something like that.
It's
usually because like Galactus. Am I echoing?
Yeah, you are echoing.
All right, I'll step out real quick, but you can continue.
But Galactus is a bit of a sloth, and but the reputation behind Silver Surfer is simply that almost every variant Silver Surfer ends up betraying Galactus and becomes a hero. Silver Surfer is very powerful, but honestly, I'm glad there's a bit. I wouldn't want a same exact reenactment from the Silver Surfer film from Fox. I'm glad they made some changes. It's not exactly the same, but also you also got a feel for who the Silver Surfer was as a character. Matter of fact, guys, Derek, Jonan, are y'all here?
Yeah, I am.
So how'd you guys feel about the ending scene when she came in and knocked Human Torch out the way?
Oh, it was pretty interesting. Actually, I might step out real quick. Hang on. Derek, can take it from here.
Yeah, what was your thoughts, Derek?
That scene, we discussed that over the phone. That scene was amazing to me because I thought that Johnny was really about to commit the sacrifice. And I did not see Silver Surfer saving him last second like that. I just didn't. It did caught me by surprise. So it was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm better now.
Slight. We can get into Galactus now. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like I saw the comic book Galactus. The way he looked. The critics before this film came out, like going way further away from it actually being released. They had all these rumors of these different actors they were going to decide to use for Galactus's voice. I remember they had Antonio Banderas. They had all these different rumors of what he's going to look like, etc. They said he was going to be small instead of being the gigantic, colossal force that he was. But it looked like we got the comic book accurate size and presence of Galactus. Are you guys in agreement to that, or I mean, hell, Jonan, what's your thoughts on Galactus?
I'm so glad that he
wasn't. My fault. Jonan's out. My fault. Derek, go ahead. Yeah, Derek.
I'm so glad that he wasn't a cloud, and that it seems like they're not. I feel like ever since Deadpool and Wolverine was introduced, and then especially now with James Gunn's DC universe and how they're doing things over there, I feel like Marvel is going to be more comfortable now more than ever to actually implement the comic book elements. Whereas before it was like Marvel was kind of ashamed of it, and they would try to hide it and try to make it as realistic as possible. So, which in that case, since they are going to do that, we're going to get a lot more badass films.
Okay.
Not just
Cuz, take your time and try not to use much profanity, because now I can't use this as an ad.
Oh man.
Or
okay.
You can give me $50.
Okay. Where was I at?
You were saying with this film's success, the using comic book adaptation, hopefully it sounded like you were trying to say hopefully we'll see this further in more Marvel films of, I guess, the aesthetics looking comic book accurate.
Right. So I think moving forward, like when they do the new iteration of X-Men, I believe that they'll be in their actual costumes. I think that we'll just get more comic book elements moving forward, which I'm very excited for.
No, I agree. I mean, I guess the first steps. To me, it could be some. No, well, I guess Thor's costume was a comic book accurate. But I guess when Wolverine put his costume on, that just felt like that's when it started to me. I guess I was anticipating and wanting Wolverine to put that yellow and blue suit on so much. I've been excited to see people in their costumes. SSJ says Galactus was amazing, 100% comic accurate, ominous, threatening, and intimidating. He was bigger than the Celestials in the Eternals. Talk your stuff, buddy. Talk your stuff. Yeah, I agree. I definitely enjoyed Reed Richards taking his time trying to figure out exactly what cosmic energy is and what's it made out of.
All right, I am back.
Jonan.
What's happening?
Okay, we got you back in there. Oh, yo, Jonan, what was your thoughts on Galactus?
Galactus was pretty cool. I got no complaints about that one either. Yeah, I think he was utilized pretty well. That's all I can really say.
I got you.
Because
I guess what I was
Galactus is like a force of nature.
Yeah, you got a crazy robot like with you talking.
Right? All right, let me get something else. But yeah, you can continue.
Okay, yeah. But I did like how Reed Richards was trying to like scientifically figure out what cosmic energy was made out of, the substance itself, and you know, I guess moving forward, it's I want to see how. Yeah, I want to see the outcome and the results that he gets from that. Towards the end of the film, it kind of started making sense. Did you guys notice that when they were showing those different countries sitting down, that Latvia chair was empty in the film?
Yeah, I did notice that, and that's country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then he shows up at the end with Little Richard.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to me that he wasn't there because he's not supposed to like the Fantastic Four, right? So he was probably already in a disagreement to whatever it is that they were doing. So we're gonna find out what that disagreement is in Doomsday.
Yeah. So the real question is do you guys think Sue knows that Dr. Doom exists, or to her when she turned around and saw Dr. Doom there that she's like, who the heck is this guy?
No, I believe that he's already been established.
Okay.
I just don't think that I believe they had a conflict with Dr. Doom already before. That's why he wasn't at the meeting. But the film didn't focus in on that because it was about Galactus. But I believe that they already had an altercation already.
Yeah, that could be it.
That makes sense.
Because in a way, it does feel more like a Fantastic Four 3 than a first movie, you know, where they're just handling the stuff with Galactus and stuff from like the other previous movies.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but this Fantastic Four movie was kind of like the third installment of a trilogy. Because this was like the ultimate bad guy that we got, but instead of waiting until the third one, we just get it at the first one because we didn't get in all those other Fantastic Four movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hit us with the big bang in the first film. SSJ says, I liked when Galactus hopped out of his chair, landing on the lake near New York, causing a tsunami. It had a lot of aura. Yeah, because he's big. It felt like
he just doing a cannonball when he just jumped in that water. I was like, he's having fun with himself. And then he looked at the Statue of Liberty, and I thought he was about to do something, but just like, nah. That was kind of cool.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys. There really wasn't a dull moment in this film. It was action packed. It had some comedy behind it. But once the female Silver Surfer like made her presence, it just felt like the world was like coming to an end, and they were just chasing. Yeah, it felt like a bit of a thriller. I had suspense watching the film. How about you guys?
You know what I wanted the most out of this film? was more filler. I wouldn't have mind just watching them have more conversations amongst each other.
Really? Okay. That's a hot take.
Or like the Thing trying to take that teacher out on a date and trying to get the self-esteem to ask her out. Like, I was so interested in this world that I wanted just the little stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they could have definitely gone more into like the Thing's brother, because I heard he had like an older brother who like got killed and stuff like that. So that could definitely be something like an interesting thing to kind of explore with that girl and stuff. Like, oh, you know. But
Go ahead,
yeah,
Tony.
I'll say the dullest moment I'll probably say is probably like when they were still trying to figure out some stuff. That's to me a little bit. But other than that, though, I'm like, yeah, pretty solid and stuff. I'm not like, this is like phase 2 vibes for me, more so than not, for like Marvel. So I like it.
What do you say? SJ says 4 out of 10 garbage political agenda. He said just kidding. I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly, another thing I wanted to add is Franklin Richards' presence. I knew he was going to be introduced. I mean, through the trailer, we knew that she was going to have the baby. But although this film, he's like the most important character in this film, I didn't feel like he was overly shot in this film. Like, it still was a Fantastic Four movie, like the core group. But they did lead me to want to be excited to see Franklin Richards grow up. How about you guys?
I wanted to see more of Franklin's powers, to be honest. I mean, I know this is a movie about the Fantastic Four, not Franklin Richards and all that. But I'm just saying, like, they could have like showed his powers a little bit better, in my opinion. Like when he brought Sue back to life and stuff. But yeah, because Franklin, like I said, those that don't know the comics and all that, Franklin's he's a mutant from the X-Men and stuff. You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, an old mega level mutant. So he's really up there in terms of power.
Yep. Franklin ends up being that freaking guy. When everything is wiped, could you guys confidently say that we're going to see the Franklin appear post Secret Wars? Or do you think this will be the last of Franklin?
I think we'll definitely see more of Franklin. Because even in the comics, there's a version where he gets older and stuff. And like he's like from the future and all that stuff, kind of like some Cable stuff from X-Men, but he comes back and joins the team and all that stuff as like, a fully realized adult.
Okay. SSJ says Franklin was more of a MacGuffin for this film than a character. Okay.
Basically.
Your guy Mole Man had me cracking up at the end when they needed his help to bring everybody underground. I was like, when he came in all creepy and then kind of like all creepy and then kind of, I felt like he was flirting with Sue Storm to an extent, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, another thing one thing I did forget to mention is I like the whole space and technology and the way Galactus is. Would that be considered a ship or his planet, or was that? Yeah, that was his ship, right?
It's a ship, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Galactus is the last of his own kind, so yeah.
Which makes sense why he would want to, if he's the last of his kind, why he would want to find a person to hold his throne down when his time is up. And apparently he could read this man Franklin Richards' cosmic energy, and I guess he had a DBZ scanner on, but it's just in his brain.
Yep.
It's through the roof.
Yeah, it seemed like Galactus didn't like what he was doing, and he's a prisoner in his own palace, and it seemed like he wants to do something else or have a normal life. Like, he doesn't enjoy what he's doing, so he for some reason he has to do this, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, it makes sense because Galactus, what Stanley was doing with Galactus is like Galactus is the type of character is like he's not truly evil, but he's just a character that just does things out of necessity for his survival, kind of like how we as humans catch fish or how we eat chicken and stuff. I mean, obviously we do it because we're omnivores or we eat meat and stuff like that. So from Galactus, that's kind of his point of view on that for humanity.
Right, because in a way, like chickens and cows and all that, they're living beings and they deserve to live out their life. But we don't see it that way because we see ourselves as more superior because we have more brain power, right? And so that justifies us for doing what we're doing. Somebody like Galactus has more brain power than us. So Galactus looking at us like we're the chickens and we're the cows.
Yeah, he's on top of that food chain and everything,
Yeah. Yeah, so it's all about perspective. And that's one thing that Marvel's good at because in all actuality, Thanos isn't really a bad guy either. He just has a different viewpoint than everybody else does. And in all actuality, Thanos' viewpoint is actually right. It's just a hard truth that we don't want to face.
So like as far as survival goes and tactical, being tactical.
Yeah, resources and all that. Yep.
Yeah, because we even see it now in our society. Like we can see that in real life. It's like, and that's why they've been trying to implement stuff to try to control the population, like Roe versus Wade and things of that nature. Implementing feminism into our society. They've been doing all these things to try to control the population to make sure that it doesn't increase to a certain point.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, SSJ's over here talking funny. He says Mo-Man was made like an anti-hero like M'Baku from Black Panther. He also says he wasn't flirting with Sue. He hates the Fantastic Four, but decided to change due to Galactus. M'Baku change. Okay, I get it. And then SSJ says chicken does taste good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. So, what was you guys' thoughts when Reed Richards had pissed off Sue Storm when she was like, and you even thought about that outcome of like even delivering Franklin to Galactus? He was like, I had to. Like, yeah, what was y'all thoughts when y'all saw Reed doing that?
So that goes into what I was saying earlier about like everybody was complaining that Pedro Pascal was Mr. Fantastic, that he was Mexican, that he didn't shave his mustache off. All these complaints to say that he's not the real Mr. Fantastic. I disagree with all of that. I don't think that there could have been a single actor out there that would have done a better job than Pedro Pascal playing Mr. Fantastic. And the reason for this is because I felt the weight of on his shoulders. I felt it with how he walked, with how he moved, the expression on his face. Like, I've been in a period of time where I've been very stressful and I felt like I had a lot of weight on my shoulders. And I know how you move and I know how your face is. And I know how the words come out of your mouth. There was a crack in how he was saying his sentences while he was talking to Sue or he was talking to somebody else. And he did a very good job of communicating that stress, communicating that weight on his shoulders. And when she was challenging him, did you look at that as an outcome? You could see how uncomfortable he was saying that he did. It's not an outcome that he wanted to do, but it's an outcome that, hey, in order for us to get out of this is an outcome that we got to look at. Mm-hmm. And I hate that I have to do that.
Very masculine.
Yeah, because Reed is he is kind of the conscience or the mind of the family or the genius, whereas Sue is more of the heart and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, obviously you're going to be more like, oh, okay, well, I got to look at it from all possibilities or think of the hypothetical and all that stuff, compared to like doing what's moral at the end of the day.
He definitely. I agree with you, cuz especially like yeah. I mean, his facial expressions didn't allow. It left him in some of those scenes to where he didn't have to have much dialogue to get his point across. Like yeah, sometimes you don't have to say that much, as long as you're able to deliver that expression. And yeah, I felt him. I felt it. I felt his worry for that moment, and then I also like that he was confident in himself, and all he needed to do was get to the whiteboard with his Sharpie because he's freaking Reed Richards. He figured it out.
I mean, you got to think about it. This movie had a lot of stakes. This is not. This is like the only level of danger that comes to this is Infinity War and Endgame, and then it's this in this movie. This is about to be the end of all existence of everything that you know. Like this is the highest way. You are going against a galactic being that is a godlike figure. He's not even like your average monster or your average villain. Like the stakes are high. So every little
actually more powerful than Thanos, actually, too.
Right.
Yep.
So every little formula that you're trying to do, can you imagine how stressful that is? How can you think?
While your wife's nagging at you.
Yeah, like you can't sleep. Like how can you rest? Like and it's all on you. Nobody's helping you. Nobody can because they're not on your level intellectually. Yep. So this is. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
And time is ticking. Boom. Thanos passed Mars. Boom. I mean, Galactus passed Mars. Boom. Galactus passed this. Galactus. It's pressure.
He's coming on Friday.
Hey, I had an old poop moment when the baby swap happened. And he figured out that fast and didn't step on that beam. I was just sitting there in the theaters like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I said to myself, I was like, I know Galactus got that cosmic awareness, so he knew.
Yeah, I was like, man, nah, that seemed too easy.
Yeah. Low-key, I kind of thought that this might be like the explanation for them getting into the actual MCU universe, where the Fantastic, but they didn't do any of that here, as I thought.
Yeah, I really thought that too. I thought that they were going to lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that they had to find a new universe to warn people of Galactus.
Or like teleport the entire planet into the MCU universe. That's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, oh.
I knew they were going to teleport the planet, but I didn't. But like as the plot developed, I was like, you know what? Eventually, I think they're just going to escape. But it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. Yeah, I can't wait with this. So now we got. So hold on. Have we had much of a discussion in the MCU regarding cosmic energy?
I don't think so. We talked about. I remember you guys talked about like adamantium and metals and stuff.
Yeah, we talked about metals, but So with this film, man, I wish we got this film sooner. We probably would have had more time. Now that we're talking about cosmic energy, I got Mephisto, who just made an appearance. It's still rumored with our guy Ghost Rider. Which is made of is he all hellfire or cosmic energy as well?
I wouldn't say cosmic power, but different type of power. Because cosmic power is that's like universal extraterrestrial type of stuff, in origin. Yeah. Whereas Ghost Rider, he's sort of undead.
Yeah. SSJ says they would have defeated Galactus too easy if he fell for that trap. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And not to mention, Galactus, he is ridiculously intelligent too. On top of that, despite we know he got the powers and but he's also pretty smart too.
Yeah, I didn't know if Galactus had. I mean, obviously Galactus has some sort of a healing ability.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, because he's got a ton of powers. So, It's like, yeah, he could bring back the dead, do a bunch of cosmic stuff or whatever, etc. Absorption, energy, telekinesis, read minds, whatever, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Now, what I do not have to mind at this moment is, at what point do you guys think that? Do you think Doctor Doom was gone during that entire time, defeating Celestials and becoming powerful, and then coming and touching down back on their back on the planet that the Fantastic Four is in? How powerful do you guys think Doctor Doom is at this state that we saw in the post-credit scene?
I don't think Doctor Doom's all that powerful yet. I don't think he did all that, but who knows? Maybe he could have probably, like, during that whole press conference, he probably just showed up because maybe he might have had something else to do, or because he just doesn't like the Fantastic Four. But
he was away.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't present during all that chaos.
I think
disposed.
Yeah, I think he could have probably just been like chilling in Latveria or something. Because I just like, he's probably hating on Sue Storm and the Fantastic Four or whatever. That's what I got out of that. But no, I just think he's just probably at his regular power level and stuff. Like when he showed up to like Franklin and stuff, it's like, I was like, there you are.
So knowing him, like I've been reading it up on Doctor Doom lately, One World Under Doom and all that stuff. I believe that he wanted to watch Reed squirm, and I believe he didn't want to help him because maybe before in the past they got into a big altercation, and it's like, okay, you don't want to listen to me, you don't want to do things my way.
Okay.
Good luck with Galactus.
Okay, that's
Galactus.
I was about to say
that
that's both
like
of you guys' theory. That's
or he would want Reed to go to his front door and be like, yeah, that's right, Richard, it's beg, or tell me how much smarter I am than you.
Hold up. SSJ says Doctor Doom probably gets powered up from Franklin in the end credit scenes.
I don't believe that. But I mean, since Avengers Doomsday's on the way, I mean, Doctor Doom definitely is going to get some type of power.
They're gonna have to give us Doctor Doom traveling to different universes. I feel like he's gonna have some sort of cutscenes of having a presence in all of these films, some way or some form of fashion. I mean, if not, in theory, those have to be the options. But he's gotta get powerful enough to face everybody and create all this stuff with his cosmic energy. So, I mean, the Celestials that we have is what he comes down to Earth and gets celestial energy.
He might just steal it from like the
energy?
Beyonder or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, because
when's the last time we seen the Beyonder? Was it the What If series?
Actually, now that I mentioned it, and the Beyonder. Because the Beyonder actually is in the
No, I'm thinking of the Watcher. The Watcher's on the moon.
Not the Watcher though, but the Beyonder. He's in that Moon Girl show, which I think is canon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that was my mistake. Well,
no, you're good. The Watchers, the they're in What If and all that. But they're probably just in the cut watching.
Okay, I got you. All right, man. There's a lot to unfold to be excited about. I mean, it is rumored that Doctor Doom's supposed to be facing the X-Men early in Doomsday. So we're looking forward to seeing at a certain point the X-Men and Doom's going to be going up against each other, and then he's got to get his cosmic energy. Is there any variants of Captain Marvel and Doom going at it?
Talking about Carol Danvers?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I don't know. I mean, Doom's gone up against really anyone, especially the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. He's existed in everybody's.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man, even like everybody can get it from Doctor Doom.
He's everybody's villain.
But Black Panther too, especially. But Yeah, but I don't know about Carol Danvers though. I mean, they've probably fought because she's a part of the Avengers and all that stuff. But I wouldn't say they have a rivalry like that.
Okay. All right. All right. Before I close this out, I want to get a rating from the rest of you guys for this film. And then yeah, SSJ in the chat. Let me know what your rating is for this film. Cuz, what do you rate this film out of 10?
I rate Fantastic Four First Steps 10 out of 10, baby.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Nice. We got a 10 out of 10. I think that's your first 10 out of 10. First 10 out of 10. All right. How about yourself, Joni?
I'm between 7 to 8 out of 10. I haven't decided yet, but it's between those two scores. It's definitely nice seeing the Fantastic Four come back after so long, because I really did think the Fox movies, even though they weren't the best in the world, but it's because it was sandwiched between stuff like X-Men, and then eventually the MCU came up. But I feel like those movies were underrated, and this movie definitely felt definitely on that same level where it was all right and stuff. It's nice seeing those elements and stuff come back after so long, because they've been trying to get stuff like Eternals and Inhumans to be the new It thing. But Fantastic Four, I feel all right, this is probably a step in the right direction finally.
Okay. I'm going 10 out of 10. I could see that I could rewatch this movie 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And I could point out different things. This is I enjoyed this film a lot. And look, I'm biased, y'all. The Fantastic Four, just period, them as a first family, they're one of my faves. I fan out over the Fantastic Four the way I fan out for Nightcrawler, the way I fan out for Ghost Rider, the way I fan out for freaking Hellboy. Fantastic Four is my crew. That's my dad's favorite character is the Fantastic Four members. He really likes Reed Richards. So it's just it's part of my legacy to be a fan of the Fantastic Four.
They were definitely all of that was definitely a big hit back in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah. It's always been the first family of Marvel. SSJ gives it an 8 out of 10. All right.
What? That's a big deal, SSJ.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. 8 out of 10 for SSJ, man.
Oh, sticker.
And then anybody else watching, give us your rating as well for this film. What was you about to say? What was you about to say, Jonah?
I was about to say, if you said 9 out of 10 for some other movie, I'd be like, oh, okay, SSJ, that's something coming from you. But yeah, nah.
Oh, and I do want to mention, you can enjoy the Fantastic Four and Superman. Both films were really good for this summer.
Yeah, I gave Superman a 9 out of 10 amongst us, but I gave it a 10 out of 10 to try to get a reaction out of people.
Nice. I get it.
Is that SSJ's highest movie rating on this channel?
Oh, man, I'm trying to think. Yeah,
I believe so. Because even...
Hold on, what? No. He gave Deadpool vs. Wolverine a high review. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he really loved that movie too. Most of us did.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a 10 out of 10, but it was up there. So yeah, I would say Deadpool, Wolverine, and these two are probably his highest ratings.
Yeah, I think he said 9 out of 10. That's my guess, anyways. I would definitely get that movie a 9 out of 10 too.
Yeah. All right, be sure to hit that like button if you don't mind, guys. I'm about to close this out. Is there any closing statements you guys want to have before I cut this thing off?
Yeah. So who would you rather do? Mrs. Fantastic from this film or that girl from the Penguin series?
Is this looks or abilities or all the above?
All of the above.
Give me... Hold on. You said. Did you say what's the two comparison? These two Sue Storms.
The Sue Storm from this movie, the most recently one, or would you do?
Jessica
I forgot her name from the Penguin series.
Oh, the Penguin series. Oh,
I would think so. She looked good in that costume compared to everybody else. So.
And
She has
I'm
some
gonna
good
have to
thighs,
go
too.
with Sue because I'm biased, but that crazy look Shorty got in Penguin, I don't know. That sass, that gangster, that I feel like I gotta tell baby don't shoot him. You just came back from the madhouse. Like you're pregnant right now. That's the kind of talks I would have with the chick from Penguin.
What's her name? Can anybody remember her name?
Who's
Is it?
Sophia?
She got rid of Val. She
Sophia.
got rid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sophia.
Sophia. Yep, Sophia.
Yeah.
I got you. That's a good one though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sue Storm.
Sue Storm.
Oh, yeah, Sue.
She was a thug with the baby in her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when she was pushing Galactus back, I was like, man, look at them thighs.
And hey, the whole world wanted her to get rid of her baby. She went outside with her baby. Like, look, it's not gonna happen. Y'all should treat this just like as if one of you guys' own. And I'm pretty sure if somebody really had a problem, she would have force pushed all of their heads off their shoulders.
I'll do you one better. Just like Jessica Alba, she probably would have put a bubble in your head and make it expand.
That part. Part.
And she's a strong woman too. She wasn't complaining that Reed Richards was trying to find all those formulas to stop Galactus. Any other woman would have been complaining like, "Hey, you need to be spending more time with me and the baby and stop trying to figure out those formulas." And Reed Richards would have been like, "But the world is at stake." And like, well, I don't care. I'm a woman.
She'd be like, "This is our last time together. You better get it together, honey."
She was like, I thought I told you to make the crib. Herbie's making the crib.
I'm doing more important stuff than making the crib.
Jeff, I appreciate everybody for watching this stream. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to us, and as well, I'm going to after this film, I'm going to tag all everyone else that's joined us in this stream. Be sure to hit them with a subscribe and subscribe to their channels as well. They got some really interesting content. That's what I try and do here at the Jay Leno channel. Introduce you to different personalities, different people. We're out of here. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for coming in.
No problem. Flame off.
Yes, sir. Yeah, flame off.